Buried Centurion doesn't use shadow energy. He runs on bone energy. So, here's the question. Why can he still use shadow blades? Why does Shadow Nourishment heal him? Why do perks like Shadow Berserk or Shadow Burn still work? But why does nothing happen with Shadow Storm? This isn't your average guide. We're not just throwing perks at the wall and seeing what sticks. We're diving deep into the code to understand the core mechanics of the Buried Centurion set. First, let's talk about the Burden of Bone. This set tosses out the old Shadow Energy system and introduces a unique Bone Energy system. Your energy bar fills up as you deal damage, and here's the game changer. It saves between rounds. But here's the catch. Any perk that manipulates shadow energy is useless. This is a foundational rule. So how do perks like Shadow Berserk and Shadow Blades work their magic? It's all about the trigger. The game's engine still classifies your bone moves and finishers as shadow abilities. So even though you don't use shadow energy, these perks still activate when you use those moves. It's a beautiful, broken synergy that completely defines this set. And the best part? The price of victory. This perk is the engine of our entire strategy. When Shadow Berserk forces you to lose health, Price of Victory immediately retaliates with a massive counterattack. It turns your biggest weakness into your most powerful weapon. High risk, high reward. This is the hidden synergy most players overlook. And today, I'll show you the best perk builds that turn Buried Centurion into an immortal fortress. First of all, this is all available perks for Buried Centurion. Helmet perks. Perseverance. The lower your HP, the stronger your bone abilities hit. Shadow Blades. Works perfectly. Every bone move inflicts bleeding. Shadow Nourishment. Sustain on every bone ability. Perfect for raids. Rock. Defensive insurance against crit interrupts. Armor perks. Damage absorption. Survive longer. Stack bone energy faster. Price of Victory. Reflect your own perk damage as shadow damage and active all shadow perks. Predator. Seal of Doom drains them low. Predator guarantees the finish. Himmelstein's Power. High risk, high reward. Crit Snowball. Weapon perks. Shadow Berserk. Extra burst on bone abilities. Defense Breakthrough. Essential for bosses and raids. Bleeding. Perfect combo with Shadow Blades for constant drain. Will to Win. Clutch finisher when Centurion is near death. Key insight. Not every shadow perk is useless here. The ones that give shadow energy, useless. The ones that trigger after a shadow move, useless. But the perks that scale with shadow damage, they are the core of Centurion's power, and they turn every bone move into healing, bleeding, or bursting chaos. Here's the best builds for Buried Centurion. 1. Raids. Immortal build. Event Boss. Burst build. Here's the truth. Buried Centurion doesn't use shadow energy, but because his bone abilities inflict shadow damage, he can use Shadow Blades, Shadow Nourishment, Shadow Berserk, and more, to devastating effect. Stop wasting perks that don't work. Build him right, and command the battlefield as the eternal fortress of doom. Like this video if it helped. Drop your favorite Centurion combo in the comments, and subscribe for more real builds, not noob traps. See you next time.